Breaking news from the silver markets, and folks, what just happened in January 2026 has only occurred twice in the last 52 years. Same pattern, completely different outcomes. One time created generational wealth, the other trapped people for 5 years. And right now we're watching the third occurrence unfold in real time. Welcome back to the channel. I'm bringing you urgent analysis on a historic silver market event that most people are completely missing. If you want breaking updates on major market moves like this, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Here's what just happened. Silver gained 65% in January 2026 in a single month. In the last 52 years, silver has only achieved a 65% monthly gain two other times, December 1979 and February 1974. That's it, 2 times in over 5 decades. And now January 2026 marks the third time. This is not normal market behavior. This is what analysts call a parabolic move, which is a fancy way of saying the chart literally goes vertical. No meaningful pullbacks, no consolidation, just relentless buying pressure. Silver has now gained 270% over the past year. If you put $10,000 in silver a year ago, you'd have $37,000 today. But here's the critical question. What happens next? Because parabolic moves don't last forever. At some point, the music stops. And when it stops violently. This is why understanding what happened the previous 2 times is absolutely crucial. Let me take you back to December 1979. The setup was remarkably similar to today. Silver had been rallying hard for months. The Hunt brothers, 2 Texas billionaires, were accumulating massive positions. Meanwhile, inflation was raging across America. Double-digit inflation, the dollar was under siege. Faith in the financial system was collapsing. Sound familiar? Because we're seeing similar dynamics today in 2026. Inflation concerns, currency debasement fears, massive institutional buying. The parallels are striking. In December 1979, silver gained exactly 65% in a single month. Mainstream media started covering silver obsessively. Everyone was bullish. Everyone thought it was going higher. This time is different, they said. And if there are 3 words that should terrify any investor, it's those 3. So what happened next? After that massive 65% gain in December, silver gained another 30% in January. It peaked at $50 per ounce on January 21st, 1980. People who bought in early made fortunes. Generational wealth was created in months. Dreams came true. But then everything changed. Within weeks, silver crashed from $50 to $11 in just 2 months. An 80% collapse. People who bought at the top lost everything. The crash was so severe it's still talked about today as one of the most dramatic market collapses in history. The Hunt brothers themselves were financially destroyed. Now let's look at the other time this happened. February 1974. In February 1974, silver gained 65% in a single month. Same pattern, same parabolic move, same excitement. But what happened after February 1974 was completely different and in some ways even worse. Instead of continuing higher and then crashing dramatically, silver peaked almost immediately. It topped out within days of that 65% monthly gain. And then it entered a grinding, brutal bear market that lasted 5 years. 5 years of lower highs and lower lows. 5 years of trapped capital and missed opportunities elsewhere. Same setup, same 65% monthly gain, completely different outcome. So the question everyone's asking right now is this: which scenario are we in? Is January 2026 going to be like December 1979, where silver continues higher before a dramatic crash? Or is it like February 1974, where the top is already in and we're about to enter a multi-year bear market? Here's what the data is telling us right now. Silver is currently trading at $34 per ounce as of late January 2026. The question is whether we've already seen the peak or if there's another leg higher coming. First, momentum. In 1979, silver continued higher for another month after the initial 65% gain. In 1974, it peaked almost immediately. Right now, we're seeing some signs of exhaustion. Trading volume has been declining even as price pushes higher. That's a classic divergence and often signals a top is near. But we're also seeing continued institutional buying. Major funds are still accumulating silver positions. Second, the macro environment. In both 1974 and 1979, inflation was a major driver. Today, in 2026, we're seeing similar inflationary pressures. Central banks around the world are dealing with persistent inflation despite years of policy tightening. The dollar is facing significant headwinds. Geopolitical tensions are elevated. These are all bullish factors for precious metals. Third, market structure. In 1979, the silver market was heavily concentrated in the hands of the Hunt brothers. When they were forced to liquidate, the market collapsed. Today's market is more distributed. Yes, there are large institutional players, but ownership is more diverse. That could mean more stability, or it could mean more volatility if everyone tries to exit at once. Fourth, technical indicator. The relative strength index on silver is currently above 90. That's extremely overbought territory. Every technical indicator is flashing warning signs. But here's the thing about parabolic moves. Technical indicators can stay overbought for longer than you think possible. In 1979, silver was overbought for weeks before it finally topped. So what does all this mean? Here's my analysis. We are likely in the final stages of this parabolic move. Whether that means days, weeks, or months, I cannot say with certainty, but the pattern is clear. Parabolic moves always end, always. The only question is when and how violently. If we follow the 1979 pattern, we could see another 20 to 30% gain before the top. That would put silver around $40 to $45 per ounce, then a sharp, brutal correction. If we follow the 1974 pattern, the top could already be in. We could be starting a multi-year bear market right now. Here's what I'm watching closely. First, any signs of capitulation buying. When your Uber driver starts talking about silver, when mainstream media goes into full hype mode, when everyone and their grandmother is buying silver, that's usually the top. We're seeing some of those signs now, but not at extreme levels yet. Second, institutional flows. As long as major institutions are still accumulating, there's fuel for the rally. The moment they start distributing, it's over. Third, the dollar. Silver and the dollar typically move inversely. If the dollar suddenly strengthens, silver will face massive headwinds. Fourth, industrial demand. Silver isn't just a monetary metal, it's also heavily used in industry, especially in solar panels and electronics. Any signs of weakening industrial demand could pressure prices. Now let me be very clear about something. I am not telling you to buy silver. I am not telling you to sell silver. I am giving you the historical data in the current context so you can make an informed decision. I'm not a financial advisor, and even if I were, I wouldn't be your financial advisor. But here's what history teaches us. When you see a parabolic move, when you see a 65% monthly gain that's only happened twice before in 52 years, you need to be extremely careful. This is not the time to be greedy. This is the time to be cautious. This is the time to have a plan. If you're already in silver and sitting on profits, consider taking some off the table. Lock in gains. Don't let greed turn a winning position into a losing one. There's an old saying on Wall Street: bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Don't be a pig. If you're thinking about getting in now, after a 65% monthly gain, ask yourself this: are you buying because of solid analysis or because of FOMO? Are you buying because you understand the risks or because everyone else is buying? The worst investors in 1979 and 1974 were the ones who bought at the top. They bought because of excitement. They bought because of hype, and they lost everything. The best investors were the ones who got in early and got out before the crash, or the ones who stayed on the sidelines entirely. Here's the bottom line. January 2026 will be remembered as a historic month for silver. A 65% gain, only the third time in 52 years. What happens next will determine whether this becomes a wealth creation event or a wealth destruction event. The next 60 days are critical. Stay alert, stay informed. Don't let emotions drive your decisions. Whether you're in silver or watching from the sidelines, understand that we are in unprecedented territory. History gives us clues, but it doesn't give us certainty. I'll be monitoring this situation closely and bringing you updates as new data comes in. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more urgent market updates and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. I'll see you in the next one.